team.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. So after the INT, here's Wentz.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Now a dump off here complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Washington on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. On play action, Wentz. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Play action, now Wentz. And he's got it. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position. To actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop.
Gibson again. And he will not get in. In fact, he might have lost a yard. Back to the 2.
This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
But when the ball snapped from the 3 down near the goal line, I think in days gone by, we thought many teams would run the football. But on 3rd down in today's game, I expect them to throw it. A little counterintuitive there. They tried to run it, instead spilled for a loss.
They'll run for it with Robinson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Brian Robinson Jr., his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And it's now 21-7. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
1st down, Mills.
And this one's incomplete.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a 2nd half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he's got a 1st down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning. A 1st down throw for Mills. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They go play action. Mills.
He gets it to Cooks. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Back to the ground with Pierce. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Khalif Raymond
from 6 yards away.
And the Texans have cut it back within a score.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw into the hands of McLaurin.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing now is Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Eric Murray.
And he's got room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing is Wentz. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And the half will begin with a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half, because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
On second down, a run with Gibson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run with Gibson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Wentz now on first down. That's out to the flat for Gibson. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. Thomas has got it, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Wentz. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. From midfield, here's Wentz. This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Here's Wentz to throw. Able to connect with Dotson. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 13-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Wentz. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. This is off the left, upright, and it caroms in. Not the most convincing kick you'll see, but he got it to go. And they have regained the lead. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner. Except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back. I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we play 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Play action now. Mills. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Pierce takes it straight ahead. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
Jamin Davis there to bring him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw is Mills. He's got Jordan complete right side.
Touchdown!
Brevin Jordan.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans have taken a 4th quarter lead.
On for the PAT, Ka'imi Fairbairn. And that will make this a 4-point game. Is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. This will be caught. It's Samuel. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Washington. So minutes after giving up the lead in the 4th quarter, they say not so fast. Big play, and they grab that lead right back.
Talk about a seesaw game. Up, down, up, down. Did you have a seesaw? Did you play that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Out on the playground, absolutely.
You had to make sure that you matched weight, though, on the other side, though, right? Otherwise, you could be up in the air a long time.
By the way, we're not done in this one. I think we're set up for an exciting finish. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here's Mills. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Cooks on the quick slant.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
He has has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. A give left side for Pierce. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 67 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
So third down, but you got to think they'd like to get closer, even in a dome with good kicking conditions for a possible field goal. Pierce will try to pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So now let's look at this situation with no timeouts remaining. The be able to just run the clock out.
I know that's what it says on my time management chart up here. And I know a lot of teams are hiring a time management coach who's going to sit in the box, talk to the head coach. And in this situation, if you do anything but take a knee in victory formation, then you're not playing the game right. This game should be over. Take the knee, hold on to the ball.
By the way, so impressive that you do have a time management chart up here.
Listen, you know I can't count. So I need it a big way. We can't hire anyone to help us out, so hopefully I'm reading it correctly.
Second and 11 at the 41. They'll try the left side with Gibson. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So a victory here for the Commanders. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future, they've got to work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for the Commanders, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.